All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Me here, talking about real music in real time. I don't know for how many people anymore. It's good and it's bad. It's the best of times and it's the worst of times. Thank you, patrons. But we're doing it here, of course, in real time for real people, just like you, just like me. All right, this article, I think they write these articles to get me all fired up, and I really need to buy some duct tape. I said, just to keep me safe, keep you safe, Dave. Stay indoors, shelter in place, get your duct tape, go to CVS, and you'll be safe. Before I get into the topic here, which is just, here's Joe Lynn Turner. Okay, this is going to be about Joe Lynn Turner, so I figured I'd plug his album Belly of the Beast. This explains the beast system. You don't even have to be Christian or religious or any of that stuff. You don't have to sci-fi movies. Here it is, right here, Belly of the Beast, and Joe Lynn Turner has really done a great job. The reviews on this were fantastic, despite the content, despite the lyrical and conceptual content here. Joe Lynn Turner hit a home run with the hard rock and heavy metal community right there. And again, you don't have to agree with his views to dig the music. And if you don't dig the music, I understand. It's not in everybody's wheelhouse. But if you want to understand the beast system, Joe Lynn Turner. I consider Joe a friend. I'm going to send him this video because he's going to love it. Okay, so here's the story. Joe Lynn Turner returns to Moscow. And then they go, Moscow, Russia, because we don't know. People don't know. They want to make sure you know this is in Russia. You know why they do that? Because, number one, a lot of people have never heard of Moscow. They don't know because they're not taught about Moscow because it's not there on the map anymore. You look up at the Russian Federation and you look at all these places and Moscow is there. But a lot of people, again, once you say Russia, then everybody can say, oh, they're bad. They're bad. That Russia-Ukraine thing. That's why we're sending tons of money to Ukraine because Russia bad. All right. In a couple of places, this article I do really need the duct tape. So rather than talking about Joe Lynn Turner returning to Moscow, Russia, to perform Rainbow and Deep Purple classics, they don't really spend a lot of time on that. They give us the set list, which is killer, right? Check this out. Here's a few highlights. Street of Dreams, Stone Cold, Perfect Strangers, King of Dreams, The Cut Runs Deep, Rising Force, Highway Star, Long Live Rock and Roll, and he concluded his set with Smoke on the Water. Now, no real discussion about how did Joe sound, how did he look. Now, they do have a picture of Joe performing, and yes, he's wearing the dome. There's no wig. Joe is comfortable either with the wig or with the dome. Now, typically they spend a lot of time talking about why he ditched the wig and so forth. In this particular article, though, they talk a lot about Russia. Here we go. This is going to make you smile. If you don't understand what I'm doing here, I get it. This isn't your typical music-based video. This will be my second today that's in that category, way out of the lane that I'm supposed to be in. Former Rainbow and Deep Purple frontman who previously played in Moscow in March broke with most international artists who canceled their live appearances in Russia in response to the global condemnation against the Kremlin and its president. Global? Global. Okay, what's that BRICS thing then? I know you don't hear about BRICS here in the United States, but it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Okay? It's part of the globe, but apparently when you are being this generic and this esoteric with your writing, it was the global condemnation of everything that had to do with Russia. And anyway, he broke with most of those people. You're supposed to condemn, right? The Kremlin and its president, Vladimir Putin, over the war in Ukraine. In addition, major record labels. Okay. There are record labels? Really? What are they doing for the music industry? I know they're promoting all of the bubblegum crap that you hear on the radio, all of that AI generated stuff. There's like 2 songwriters or something. Those are the record labels. That's where they're at, So, but most of the major record labels suspended their operations in Russia, while streaming services like Spotify pulled out of the market. I ditched Spotify like 2 years ago. Best thing I ever did. It just best thing. Didn't they cancel like Joe Rogan for telling some truthful things too? Spotify. I guess we're all supposed to follow the lead of Spotify. So Spotify pulled out. Did they pull back in? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that they have, but maybe they haven't. I know they did reinstate Joe Rogan because they were losing too much money. Anyway, in August, here we go. We're going to do a little time traveling here. Again, this has nothing to do with what they're going to write about. Again, no coverage of the actual music, what it sounded like, who was in this band that Joe brought with him. Nothing about that. But we'll go back to August of 2022. Turner apparently threw his support behind Roger Waters. Okay? Did Roger Waters play in Russia at the same time? How did Roger Waters get into this? Anyway, Waters made comments about Russia. Waters blasted U.S. President Joe. I love it how everyone gets blasted now. If you criticize, you're blasting. It's like you're taking a sledgehammer, you're taking a jackhammer, and you're blasting. He blasted Joe Biden. Oh, you're not supposed to blast him. Get out the blasting caps. Waters blasted Joe Biden for fueling the fire in Ukraine. In quotations, because we don't believe that, but we're putting it in quotations to show you that it's just a thing that he's saying, but it's not true. Amid Russia's ongoing invasion of the country, and asked in an interview with CNN's Michael Smerconish, who? Why won't the United States of America encourage Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's president, to negotiate? Yeah, why? How come they're not negotiating? After Smerconish responded that Waters got it reversed and was blaming the party that got invaded, Waters fired back saying it was about the action and reaction of NATO pushing right up to the Russian border. And, I know this publication and pretty much 98% of American media doesn't care, but there's this little battalion inside of Ukraine, little tiny battalion, all right, known as the Azov, A-Z-O-V battalion. Their views are a little bit right of center, like over the cliff on the right. They're essentially neo-Nazis. Their little emblem, whatever symbol, looks a little like a swastika. Just a little bit. But there's nothing to see here. There's nothing. Hey, look. And because one half of the country was getting blown up for 9 years, initiated by these lovable Azov-type people, again, that has nothing to do with why the evil Putin decided to do what he did. And people are asking, how come nobody's negotiating? So apparently, Lynn Turner made the mistake of saying that Roger Waters speaks truth to power. Again, this is a year and a few months ago. So back in 2022, August of 2022, he also said, thank you, Roger. Someone has to say it. Oh, Joe, what are you doing, buddy? You know what? Now you're not part of the club anymore. Remember, like George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. Well, Lynn Turner, it's a big club, man, and you ain't in it now. What's Joe doing? So it goes on. See, going back to 2022 wasn't quite enough for this article. This was not the first time Joe had publicly taken a political stance. Really? Wow. A lot of people take political stances. But Joe, because he's a public figure, I guess his political stance is more fair game than, say, mine. Although I'm a political figure that nobody cares about. only to kind of, buttress a narrative or make them feel like I'm the crazy person and they're not. They're the same people, and they're doing the same thing here to Joe Lynn Turner. He's a little more popular than me, thank God. Anyway, they're going back to 2015 now. Yeah, they're going back to 2015. The singer made headlines when it was revealed that he joined a list of Western celebrities who publicly expressed a list. So it's not just one, it's a list. A list of Western celebrities who publicly expressed support for and defended Vladimir Putin, whose image had suffered greatly because of Moscow's aggressive foreign policy. Okay. All right, stop. Full stop. So Moscow has an aggressive foreign policy, but where the country where this publication resides and reports on the most, the United States, we don't have an aggressive foreign policy? Holy crap, Batman! Sorry. Again, no duct tape. Maybe I need to just switch to decaf. What do you think? Decaf instead? All right, so 20 years in Afghanistan. How many years in Vietnam? I don't know. Weapons of mass destruction. Let's go kill a few 100,000 people and then call it a war at that point. Yeah, we don't have an aggressive foreign policy whatsoever. We have a very calm and peaceful and diplomatic foreign policy dating back to World War II, right? We're just nice people. Dave, are you saying World War II? No, I'm not talking about, I'm saying from that point on, you want to make a case for WW2, that's fine. All right. But, let's just take that as the conventional wisdom, right? But after that, it's like the founding fathers said, don't go chasing monsters. And what have we been doing? My hand just keeps going that way. We chase monsters around. So let me read this sentence because it's so good. So there were a list of celebrities. That's what they're saying. Western celebrities who expressed support for and defended Vladimir Putin, whose image had suffered greatly because of Moscow's aggressive foreign policy. I'm going to stop. They went on. They're talking about 2017. He gave an interview. Joe went on to lament the state of American politics and denounce the culture of extreme political correctness. What does this have to do with this great set that he did in Moscow? Moscow, Russia, in case you didn't know where Moscow was. Oh, man. 18 songs, no wig, probably singing it like he's always sang it. He's one of those guys who still has great vocals at his advanced age. I'm just kidding, Joe. Just kidding, buddy. I got to have Joe on at some point to talk about all this crap. I do. Okay. I'm going to go relax. All right. I'm going to go for a little walk. Just going to go out in nature and just absorb some vitamin D. I know they say vitamin D can't do anything for you and that you shouldn't try to improve your immune system. I understand. But here's, again, Belly of the Beast. If you want to know about the Beast system and you want some music to go along with it, here's Joe Lynn Turner. You also might want to check out the Holy Bible. All right. Been around for a while. Bestseller. Great reading. Lots of chapters. Lots of verses. Not a whole lot of pictures unless you get like the picture Bible, which again for kids is pretty good. But even for adults like me who just don't comprehend, we just don't comprehend the gravity of why the United States is always the aggressor and why when someone else does it a little bit, they become the worst country on the planet. Because I guess we're the only ones who can do that. So I think the Bible does explain that in like the book of Daniel, the book of Revelation, and some other places. All right. So yeah, check out the Bible and check out, not necessarily in this order, Belly of the Beast. I would probably go for the Bible first, but then if you want some music later on and you're feeling a little aggressive, you want to go out for a ride in your 2-seater convertible with the top down and the radio I don't have one of those, but if you have one, just crank it up, cruise down the highway and see all of the people looking at you strangely. And if they only knew that you didn't support Winston Churchill unconditionally, I mean, Volodymyr Zelensky, If they knew that, they'd be swerving way off and trying to avoid you at all costs. All right, people, I'm running out. I can't talk anymore. I'm running out of ways to say things. God bless you all, though. God bless America. God bless the entire world, including the Russian Federation. I mean, God's blessings don't stop at the borders of the United States. God is a global God, and he loves everyone. So let's pray for everybody, and let's pray that this war between Russia and the United States, because that's what it is, will end soon.